All right, thank you. Good morning, good evening, depending on where you're calling in from. And I am in West Coast, so it's still evening for me. For those of you on East Coast, it's nighttime. And for anyone else from someplace else, I don't know your time zone. But in any case, welcome everyone. And my name is Walter Lee. And I just want to give you a very quick summary. If you looked at the flyer, you have an idea of my background already. So the reason why I joined Nu Skin back in the day was because I discovered I had prostate cancer when I was shutting down my private equity fund, investing in high-tech startups here in the Silicon Valley. So that's the short version. And since the product worked so well, the rest of my family also then joined in, but their focus is more on the beauty side, the skincare side, and I'm heavily invested in the supplement or Pharmanex side of the business. So to me, one of the big things that jumped out to me at Nu Skin at the time when I was doing due diligence was the fact that our prior chairman of the scientific advisory board, Carl Gerasi, Dr. Carl Gerasi, was a chemistry professor whose chemistry lab I was in a chemistry lab around the corner from his office at Stanford in the chemistry department. So when I saw his involvement, I know that the science in this company was more than solid. And so that's the reason why, that was one of the reasons why I decided to really take what I read to heart rather than just saying, oh, it's nice to know. So for those that are not familiar with Nu Skin, I just want to point out the fact that Nu Skin is already rated by the industry, by a third party, as the global #1 company for the home beauty devices, okay? So that is somebody, that the company is being recognized by third-party industry evaluators. Secondly, the reason why I changed my topic a bit for today is the excitement that we are all feeling that the company is taking another huge step in integrating wellness with beauty through the new scanner that is about to be released in 2026. So the product is called Prism IO. As you know, the company has been doing their focus on Internet of Things. Internet of Things meaning that you not only have a product that does what it's advertised to do, but also connecting through the internet, collecting data, as well as doing automated evaluations, right? For many of us who are familiar with the skincare side of things, you know that there is an app that allows you to evaluate your face and make suggestions of things that the procedures or process or products that you may use to improve your appearance. And we are migrating with the release of Prism IO, which is the brand new scanner that will address in parallel the supplement side of the business. So to me, that is incredibly exciting and incredibly amazing in the sense that the scanner, which I think for many of us who might have heard various teasers about what the technology, the new technology consists of, you might have picked up a little commentary like it's the size of a hockey puck, right? that allows you to even small enough that it will fit in your pocket. That's one thing that is exciting. The other thing that is way more exciting from a technology standpoint is that the scanner up to this point is single wavelength in terms of the laser output that then can measure the amount of antioxidants that actually arrived at your skin level so that we can determine what you are eating or what you are ingesting, both from food as well as supplements, is actually doing the work that we think it's supposed to be doing, right? So before this patented technology was even released, there was no way to even measure how do you know what you think you're doing is actually happening. So this new scanner, based on commentaries that I was trying to listen very carefully because they say it very quickly, is that it has 6 wavelengths that is being incorporated into the new scanner. So having 6 lines of detection, it implies that you can measure far more things than we have ever done up to this point. So the other thing that we know is that over the past decades or so, that the data has been just sitting in a data warehouse. Now, with the advent of artificial intelligence, the company is now implementing data analysis on that data as we collect them going forward. So to me, is the effectiveness of how we use our product become a huge, huge upside. So, I don't want to jump the gun on this, but my guess would be that there is likely to be more customization that's coming going forward, given the variety of measurements now is possible. So to me, this is just a completely crazy evolution of technology that the company is undertaking. So as we all know, when you're making major changes like this, there are always ups and downs and glitches in the process while the system is getting implemented. So at this point, I have learned the short version is to ignore the glitches and focus on the big picture of the opportunity that this is presenting for all of us to really sink our teeth into. So I am, how should I say, beyond excited in terms of what is likely to happen in the next year or two. So now, one of the big issues with supplements is how do you know it works, right? So the fact that now you can measure it, that could then allow you then to respond as well as to take action and make changes to either improve or maintain where you are, right? So if you're in very good condition already, you want to maintain that. If you are actually discovering that things are not looking so well, then this actually gives you the opportunity then to improve. So the supplement that I'm talking about now, I was able to use our company's products to actually address my prostate cancer that radiation was unable to do for long-term outcome. So the radiation was effective while it was present. When the treatment cycles stopped, guess what? Over a period of a month or so, my number went streaking up. So that was when I realized I need to come up with a better solution, long-term solution than what I had in the past. So that's where this product then, the products that we're using that are available from our product library is just incredibly amazing. So as a general, for regulatory purposes, I want to make sure this is embedded early. We are not legally allowed to make any medical claims on how our product can treat any particular situation. Having said that, I would also point out the fact that empirically speaking, and firsthand experience, as well as the hundreds of individuals that I've worked with over the years, have the kind of outcome that is extremely efficient and it does work. So the word I like to use, the company like to use is the supplements are supportive of many our biological systems. They are supportive. And the other word I like to use for my cancer, I cannot say the product cured me. However, for all practical purposes, based on blood test annually at this point, I am below noise. So for all practical purposes, I have no trouble saying I am cancer-free for over 10 years. And that is based on the existing diagnostics within the existing medical community. So everything that we do, or at least the way my approach is from a regulatory standpoint, is to push back with questions to the client's own doctors and getting adjustments and changes to their prescription, along with the stability that is being provided and supported through our nutritional supplements. So I'm making absolutely zero claims. It's based on blood work. It's based on strict data from the clients themselves with their own doctors. When I actively work with someone, they actually I request that they forward the lab results to me, and upon review, we will have a consultation, and devise a course of discussion back with their own doctor, as well as the products that we use internally to not only address the issues, but also looking at the root cause. So my biggest focus is not just to resolve I call it symptoms, but also to address the root cause, the foundation of why something is making you sick. So hopefully, based on that process, we are able to, over a period of time, get you to the point where you're actually functioning perfectly well. So when I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, I made a promise to myself. I said, okay, once I get the cancer piece of it addressed, my goal was to get my biology, my body, to a goal of 20 years younger than my age. I reached that goal after a 10-year long-term sustained effort last year. So today I am fluctuating between anywhere from 80 to 20 years younger than my age. So that to me was very gratifying to get to that point where my immune system has been fully rebuilt and fortified with our products so that I don't even worry about a lot of the viral issues that are prevalent around us, whether in a group setting or in a gathering setting. Okay, so that's the thing that I find that is completely functional and doable. And there is a protocol for that. And on an individual basis, we can talk about that offline. And so that's, I suppose, on a higher level commentary that I want to bring out. The other thing that is huge that the company is doing is the integration of beauty and wellness, right? So there is a saying that's called beauty is skin deep. Well, beauty or the appearance of your skin, hopefully, is the quickest reflection of how strong your core biology actually is, right? So to me is, do I want to look prettier or do I simply want my core biology to be so strong that my appearance reflects it? So at this point, I'm happy to report I actually like the way I look because of the foundational biology that I feel that is also then supported and proven through my annual blood checkup, right? So the blood work tells me I am a senior, B, cancer survivor, and 3, my indices are straight down the middle. So that to me is a wonderful way to live so that I have the energy as well as the freedom to do what I feel like doing. So this is sort of a high level conversation. I just want to lay the background. And in terms of the quantities of supplements that we use, in order to develop that, so what do I want to say? So generally speaking, if you are taking supplements based on what the bottle indicators are, that is intended for maintenance, and I call it mild improvement possible based on the bottle quantities. So if you actually have a particular medical issue you're trying to address, you're going to end up using a multiple of that baseline. So you could anywhere from 1 to 3, 4, 5, even as high as 10 times the quantity, depending on the severity of the situation you're trying to address. So one example I can give you is when I had a desk job doing private equity, I didn't move very much. I sat in front of the computer doing analysis most of the time or research. And then the other thing is when I left that industry, I started decide to exercise because of my cancer and I want to improve my basic biology. I overdid it. So I kind of injured my left knee. So because of that, I started using one of our products called Cartilage. And it turns out I was using the bottle amount and it didn't seem to do anything for me. So I decided to experiment. And by the time I got to 2x the bottle amount, all of a sudden I realized I can feel the difference. So either when I'm climbing stairs or I'm going downhill or down steps, slopes, I discovered that I don't get sore very quickly. And by the way, the other thing that complemented this internal improvement was obviously the release of collagen, right? So that in combination has turned into something that I use every day. So for cartilage, I actually use twice the amount of the bottle. And for the collagen, I can choose, now that we have the powder form, I can actually increase or decrease the quantity as I fool around with it to see how my body responds. So each of us may have a slightly different biology that requires a different, I call it critical mass, in order for the body to actually work the way you want it to work. So that's, once again, on a one-to-one basis, we can pin down what will be the right quantities on a one-to-one basis. So I'm not going to get into that in the group setting. So one of the things, once again, is that strong metabolism. I want to point out that okay, I'm going to go into some system examples, and then we can do a little Q&A, or if there are particular things that you particularly get excited and want to know a little bit more, maybe we can talk about that after a few more minutes of on the presentation side. So, for example, since we're able to measure through our scanner what our antioxidant levels are, then how do you know where the breakdown of this process? So if I were to start with a biology statement, well, we should probably start with the gut, since the gut is where, after you chew it, after your hydrochloric acid in your stomach dissolves and break it down further, going through your intestines, small and large intestines, where it gets reabsorbed back into your body. You can either have very expensive pee and poo if the supplements are actually not designed to be available through your system, meaning that it goes right out the other end. You take it on the top. And since many people tend to buy supplements based on price as opposed to efficacy, we discovered that most of those are actually nothing more than expensive pee and poo. So in the case of how the engineering and the design are being done in the company, we noticed that, for example, from the point of view of LifePak Nano, we know that there are a number of very large protein molecules that are very difficult for the body to absorb. So based on the challenges, they actually then engineered a process with which these big molecules are encapsulated in a fat bubble. I don't know if people realize, but the cells in your body are in fact, your cell walls are in fact fat-based. And the other thing that is fat-based is your brain is fat-based. So in order for things to come through from chewing and eating into your gut, it needs to have that fat-based bubble that then allow it to transfer from your intestine into your circulatory system back inside your body. So that is the process with which the company designed the difficult challenges and actually improves absorption by something like 5 times. So even though if you compare label to label, you may notice that our product seems to have less quantity of the product, but once you realize the multiplication factor of absorption, bioavailability, then you realize that it's far more effective than anything else you buy out on the market. So that to me is one of the humongous effects. So from the gut, so all of these are, I call it, based on a system and not just singular supplement per se. So the gut side, many of us know about Nubiome, which supports the environment in your gut for the intestinal flora to optimize proliferation. And then you have ProBio, which is actually the critters themselves, the bacteria that actually populates inside that environment that allows you to absorb. And then we have another product called Meta, which is purple, which allows you to then address some of the leaky gut issues so that you can actually then ensure what you're taking comes through. And then there's 2 more functional things, which is, one is the new Ease, which is if you have bloating and too much gas, that has a very quick response time to help ease the bloating sensations, even though we have now clinicals that prove Nubiome used over time minimizes those bloating incidences. So, and then the last one, as many of us who are foodies, like enjoy going to banquets, there's a product called Digestive Formula. So when I know I'm going to a banquet setting, I may take some ahead of time and then I may take some afterwards to make sure that I don't end up getting the outcome that I don't want in the following day or two. So that's on the gut side. And then on the joints and muscular side, we were talking about inside and outside. How does that work? Well, the outside, we talk about externally. We have the Renew Spa, which used in conjunction with gels like the Ice Dancer could then help you improve the lymphatic flow from either sore muscles where there is an overconcentration of lactic acid, or from injuries that like twisted ankles or, overly stressed joints, where then it will allow you to recover much, much accelerated basis. So one of the things that I have a lot of experience working with folks that are either weekend warriors, or when they overly exercise something and they got really sore, or if they actually kicked a desk with their big toe, we've done spot treatments where instead of taking weeks to recover, it took a matter of days to recover. So that's an external support. The internal support, you might consider not just to improve the lymphatic flow, but internally, things like collagen, which I talked about, and cartilage for your knees and joints, and the bone formula, especially for ladies who are, as you age, there is osteoporosis issues, which the bone formula helps to support and maintain, so that you may need, once again, if you actually have an osteoporosis issue, you may need to take multiples, so maybe 2 or 3 times the bottle amount in order to have the effect that you're looking for. So that's just once again, a general principle. Now, when you are in fact actively exercising or in sports, then there are products like Overdrive, which also has B vitamins in there to reduce the spike that happens. For example, you hear about drinking coffee, you get this big, huge spike, and then you get more tired afterwards. Well, the spike in this case moderates that so that your body doesn't get super high, super low in a short period of time. And then another product that a Google tourist just came by mentioned to me, which is Cordymax. I was so surprised to hear that from a individual who is not part of our system, but he says that Cordymax actually helps him reduce his hangriness. And so it settles his mood, so he doesn't get irritated quite as easily. And for many of us who familiar with Cordymax, it actually enhances the oxygenation in your body by up to 9%, which was a study that was done by Johns Hopkins University. So once again, those are things that helps reduce and help your body to process the lactic acid and minimize that, or help you accelerate recovery while you do that. There's also TR90, obviously, to enhance your protein versus fat ratio, which I actively use daily. There is the TRMe, there is the pre-exercise and the recovery from strenuous exercise. Those are powders that you use with the drink. So oftentimes in the morning, I actually put Probiome along with collagen, the powder, along with a green shake for the TR90, along with Protein Boost to get my 30 grams of protein. And that's my breakfast, right? So that's what I start off the day making that combo. And actually the flavor plays well enough together that it works well enough for me. So You may have your own favorites, such as adding things like kale, adding things like carrots, adding things like other fruit juices, maybe to mix the recipe so that you don't get bored. In my case, I don't mind being bored, so I stick with my try and true every day. Now, one of the new products that the company, new set of products, once again, these are systemic suites, is the Mind 360. So you have a product that is called Mind to help boost your memory so that we could have fewer senior moments where we just couldn't put our fingers on things. And then there is a product called Calm, which help reduces our stress. I suppose that is replacing our existing product called, well, anyway, another product that is supposed to be Quadratrol driven product that is perhaps this one. Right now, I'm using both just to try it out to see how it works. And then there's another product called Sharp Focus for mental alacrity. So if you're actually in the middle of a project, you really want to concentrate and you really want to drive your efficiency, that seems to be a good one to then use along with that. So, and then along that suite of products, there are a couple of aromatherapy related gels, whether they are cleansing gels or just gels that you can use that also complements the internal versus the external. So there are a number of things that are functional, combining the internal and the external to optimize, right? So I think many of us are aware and familiar with the need of using both the collagen along with the spa in order to, the LumiSpa IO, in order to, in fact, almost double the skincare appearance outcome. So once again, that's external, using some friction as well as the gels, which also contain the age-lock technology on the surface going into our epidermis, and the internal piece, which then help create additional supply of a collagen that really help us get healthy. So once again, that's, I think I want to quit right here in terms of high level conversations. I welcome any comments or feedback or things that you would want to talk about. You can unmute yourself since I am not controlling the audio. Or you could type into the text of the chat if you wish.
Hi, Walter. Pat here.
Hi, Pat.
Hi. Question for the audience. Have you guys seen the podcast between Ryan and Joe Chang?
No,
there's a-
Ryan and Joe Chang?
Yes. They
Not yet.
well, okay. I'll put it up in the
Ooh, I would
chat.
love to
Okay?
see that. I would love to see
I'll put that
that.
up. Okay.
Wow.
You guys need to look at that because it's very interesting. Joe gave his history of his story and the about his new scanner.
Yes.
Okay, and also
Okay.
and also the how he developed the Pharmanex products. So you would enjoy it, I'm sure.
Oh, I
Okay.
love it. I love the
Yeah, I'll
process.
put it in the
I'm hoping that I can copy and paste it. So the link.
I don't know. Well, let me see. I don't know if I can copy it, but anyway, I can send it out
If
later.
you can't put it in there,
I
then
did send
I'll
it
get
out
it
to
from you later. Yeah, I'll
yeah,
get it
I
from
did
you.
send it out
Yeah,
to
yeah, yeah.
Marguerite's social group.
There we go. Okay.
Social group. Okay, look there if you don't see it here.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
All
I'll let
right. Thank you.
other people talk. No.
No questions?
Well,
Wow.
Get a copy of your presentation.
I don't know. That would be a question that's better addressed to Patrick and to Lily, perhaps.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'll
so
put it.
I'm hoping they will. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll put it in our channel.
Yeah. So the
Okay.
DC Partners channel. Yeah.
No,
That'd be
PNM
very
Sung.
nice.
PM Sung.
PM song. Okay.
That'd be nice because that's going to help everybody.
So did you have any particular questions that come to mind in addition to my flyby? I was trying to keep it high level. Let's
Well
see.
done.
I see a question here that's from JP. Does PRISM test specific ingredients like vitamin C, EA? No, it probably does not. I don't know is the real answer because it went from a single wavelength laser to 6 different wavelengths. So there could be things that are helpful there. Okay. So and that would be, in response to the follow-up question of how would that be different from the S3? The S3 is single wavelength. The new one will have 6. So to me, it's not just the physical size, but the science that and the data it's able to then using I/O to pull up the database online through the internet that we don't have the capability today. Right? Today, we cannot go online and say, research anything or even share anything. Other than if we take our results and post it in our social media, then we can share. But otherwise, we can't. So it seems to me the company is really, I love the whole I/O series, okay? The whole I/O series, the Internet of Things, is allowing much bigger impact. In a sense, it makes some of my, I call it high-level commentaries, obsolete because the I/O is going to drive it. But on the other hand, the calibration of exactly how much you want is still in my hands. So, so I don't feel that put upon with the advances because there will be other things that will be exciting.
Okay, I put the link in the chat.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Let me see.
You will
copy.
like it, Walter.
Oh, I know I would love it. This is the kind of thing I would absolutely go gaga over. Thank you. Thank you, Pat. Yeah,
Oh, welcome.
this is fabulous. No, because to me is they have been bleeding out a little bit of news every time they talk. And you have to listen real carefully because they'll just say something and it goes right by, and I'm gonna go, wait a minute, what was that again? So
Actually, Ryan Apiersky put in his Facebook, he put his finger on that new scanner.
yeah.
No, it's
You saw that, right? He was mixed with other things. Marguerite saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, the thing that Pat just put up was in Ryan Apiersky has a podcast station. It is in his podcast. So actually,
wow.
anybody, as long as you find Ryan Apiersky's podcast, you can do it.
Okay.
And we were reminded about the podcast because last Saturday there was this mastermind.
Well, yes. So well, both SoCam and I was able to watch that live with Dan McCormick with Ryan Apiersky, with which he it was very
I know.
exciting. It was very exciting. Yeah.
So you got to rewatch that, and some of that stuff.
I will rewatch it. So for some of my friends who are here, I guess I need to connect with you as Facebook friends so that I can add you to see that. Otherwise, if you're not inside the system, you can't see that.
Yeah, mastermind. I think you have to be inside. correct.
You have to be inside. Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
So-
but anyhow, we can certainly talk about it offline. Here, I'm trying to provide a 30,000-foot flyby. So,
Mhm.
Hi, Walter.
Any,
Hi, Marguerite.
Hi.
The Mastermind Training Circle, it is a page. So
it's a Facebook page. Yes.
it's not a group. So it does not require any approval to join.
You just
So
need to join. Yeah. Uh-huh.
you do not need to join.
Okay.
no,
Yeah.
it's, no, I think Walter is talking about the mastermind.
Yeah, Mastermind Training Circle, MTC, that's ran by McCormick, Dan McCormick.
Yeah.
It is a page, it's not group, it's a public page. So
Oh,
you can
that
just,
everyone can see.
yeah, you can just send a link to anybody as long as they
Uh-huh.
have an app of a Facebook, or they can get
Yeah.
online. Yeah, they
Right.
can see
Okay.
that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I know. I saw you there.
Oh, you did.
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any particular questions or comments or things like you want to share?
I wasn't on off here tonight because I I guess I plan to cook too much. Just finished. So I do have a question for scanner 3 that I was done on my husband. I'm not sure if I should doing this in group. Shall I try, Margaret?
Yeah, try. It's
All right.
okay. I
He
think
has-
do we have any newbies or brand new people? Or has everybody been scanned? Let me put the first question.
No,
Has
I know that
everyone-
we have a couple of guests here who have not.
Oh, okay, then-
But that's okay. That's okay. I mean, we can have a sidebar follow-up with them, so don't worry about it. Go ahead, May.
All right, the thing is like this. He was recently diagnosed with the non-Hodgkin lymphoma.
Oh dear.
slow,
Okay.
slow
Okay.
grow, slow grow B cell lymphoma.
Okay.
So, yeah, I have been put him on Oration mix for the 7 years and a Cordymax, but it's not to the maximum. It's a normal dosage, and lately he found an issue, and I keep on telling him, so he was able to follow my instruction to taking the 4 Reishi Max and a 4 Cordymax. Anyway,
Okay, so
story short,
so May,
Uh-huh.
one quick response to that. Did you include T-Green in the mix?
not yet, because with him,
No. You need to
I know.
make sure. Yeah,
I
because
understand.
T-Green and Reishi Max together is more effective than either one by themselves.
I believe that. Okay,
Yeah,
thank you.
no, it is. I mean, I do that every day. So I do two
Okay, well,
I do
there's-
two
there is a
T-Green with
battle. Yeah,
yeah.
just hear me out, please. There's a battle with my husband.
okay. All right.
Sometimes I have to pick and choose the battles with him. If he can take
Gotcha.
one instead of
Okay.
taking none, so I have to take it, whatever he decide, agree to do. So anyhow, I
Okay.
scan
Fair
him.
enough. Fair
Thank
enough.
you. I scan him with the S3 scanner. I
Mm-hmm.
don't remember 3 years ago I scanned him, but I do not remember. I couldn't find a record. So the thing is a right hand versus left hand. So the right hand scan about 29
Mhm.
with 28, which is not bad. But
Mhm.
left hand scan only 18.
Wow.
Yeah. So I did
Wow.
I did it both times on both hands.
Okay.
So yeah. And then I don't know, because right away he immediately start rejecting any of these. So I wanted to maybe talk to the company to find out reason why. My takeaway is, okay, since this is a non-invasive, the precision on the skin, it's not like the precision that you have a look in a microscope and then and with actual blood samples. That's my first takeaway. Second takeaway is on your hand, this maybe I'm just thinking, okay, I'm thinking the thought is the skin thickness is maybe different. He is a construction worker. Does a mason and he does rough work. His
Ah,
skins are very rough. So I'm not sure. And also for being in knowing, understanding our body, having a nursing background, our blood capillary distribution also varies, right?
yes,
Right.
yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So
Right.
my
But
my knee-jerk response would be if you're scanning him based on soft palm tissue versus over, so since he's in construction versus over, I call it, thick skin due to work, then if you're going through that thickness, you're obviously going to get a different reading because that thick part of the skin, this what am I trying to say? Calluses is
Mhm.
going to cause a less addressable. Okay,
I-
so that would immediately give it a lower reading.
Okay, that's kind of what I thought. But however, he
Yeah,
was
yeah.
immediately rejected. Thing is a lie. This thing is not right. Scientifically, the difference is too
So
low.
he's just so he's grumpy.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Absolutely.
gotcha. In that case, you need to have him talk to somebody else.
Okay, so I think maybe I needed him talk with the scientists from the
Yeah,
company.
because oftentimes when you are a spouse, all you're doing is starting a fight.
No,
So
I had to walk away. I had to walk away.
yeah,
Yeah.
no, walk away. Have someone else do the three-way.
Yeah,
But
I think
can I
Mhm.
add something? I was just thinking, because I'm diabetic, and I remember a long time ago, I always thought my leg skin are similar, even though actually that time one doctor said that my one leg has more neuropathy than the other leg. It wasn't until one day I used the same hand stroking up and down my leg, both legs, that I realized my left leg is a lot smoother than my right leg. But my left
Hmm.
leg has lesser sensation than my right leg. So I never thought about it, but now you're talking about this, maybe I should put my foot up on the scanner and see if they're the same or not. They probably will
Well,
be different. They probably be different because, according to my doctor, the neuropathy means the blood flows not as well on my left leg,
okay,
Hmm.
and that's why
so
my skin is actually smoother.
yeah. So
Sensation is less.
I'm gonna throw a challenge to the group.
Mm-hmm.
Which device that we commonly use to improve the lymphatic flow?
The brush,
The what?
or
Which?
the well spa.
Yeah. So either the Renew Spa or the Well Spa.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So that to me is, you might want to do that either for one or both of your legs.
Mm-hmm. I know it's
I
just too
mean,
much work.
that to me,
I need.
well, yes, yes, it is. Uh-huh.
I agree.
Yeah. The one question, okay, so there are a couple of questions. One is about diabetics. So it depends on the type of diabetes. So if it's metabolism driven, then there's obviously two different ways of thinking about it, at least two different ways of thinking about it. One is you ingest less sugar, right? That's one
Mhm.
idea. The other one is to enhance the body's ability to process that sugar, right?
Mhm.
So the thing that is the worst thing possible is anything that is so-called 0 calorie. The reason why those things are called 0 calorie is they design the sweet molecules that cannot be processed by your body to break it down. That's why it doesn't get into your system. However, it sticks around. So you can really have problems with anything that says zero,
Zero sugar or
zero
zero
sugar, yeah.
calorie? Mhm.
Same thing, same thing. So to me is be careful on soda drinks or any kind of drink that says that, because that's the worst thing possible. So we have products that actually will enhance your metabolism, such as R squared. All
Mhm.
right, along with the my baseline nutrition is the youth or a lifespan, if you're not in the US, nano, Lipec Nano, which is all the raw
Mhm.
materials, and then the R squared to reset your gene expression from an older person to a younger person, right? So to me is when I saw that, I immediately jumped in. I mean, from a chem lab rat once upon a time, that data is ridiculously important. So let's see, there is a question. So Irene is asking about, no, JP is also asking about high score versus low score. That would not necessarily trigger. So the presence of the concentration of antioxidant in your system should not be the direct attribute to anything to do with autoimmune. Because to be perfectly candid, today, the medical community has no idea what triggers that. So it's a guess. However, higher scores in antioxidant levels suggest, I use the word suggest, that you are less likely to catch something when it flies around. So how about meta for diabetics? Yeah, no, that's very helpful, because you want to address the gut as best as you can to make sure the necessary nutrients get into your biology, get into the mitochondria, so the mitochondria can break it down, right? So the physical breakdown is not the R squared, it's the R squared that changes the gene expression that allow your body to be more efficient in breaking down the sugar. And the only thing that breaks down the sugar in your body is ATP, is the Krebs cycle, which is inside your mitochondria, which breaks down the sugar into ATP, which is energy. And if you're not moving at all, and if you're just static and stationary all the time, unfortunately, that could turn into white fat, which your body then stores. And you don't want to do that. So anyway, too much information on that. Let me see, Nu Skin Business. You cannot decide on this. How much value this was I given you? Why does ever need to get Prism out? Oh, thank you, Irene. So the question to me is, to me, the Nu Skin Business has profound implications. Because there are no devices today, since our product is patented, there are no other device that allows you to measure your antioxidant level, period. So, and the new and improved version that's coming up, the Prism IO, just from hearsay is so exciting. And I don't have the technical specs yet, which I would love to see. And the company has a bad habit of keeping those information. And the company has that information because during the development process, they track that. So that's what I absolutely love about Nu Skin, is that we have clinical data that other companies, that's supplement companies or companies that's supposedly doing nutritional stuff, does not track. So to me it's not just the dollars and cents, it has everything to do with good health. And the fact that I got my body down to 18 to 21 years younger than my age, that's ridiculously good. Took me 10 years to get there, but I got there. So,
Yeah.
and by the way, oh, this guy, thank you, Diane. That is a classic question. So when I chose to cold turkey my prescriptions from my doctors shortly post-cancer, my doctor friends who are around me, both from Stanford, from USF, from, all the major, I call it medical schools, all jumped all over me saying that I was crazy until I did my follow-up blood work and showed them the results, at which point they go, oh, well, okay, it worked for you, so keep doing whatever you're doing. Yes, I know enough to be dangerous, but know the basic chemistry that I learned back in school, basic biology that I learned as simple as high school applies. So there's a certain amount of common sense if you implement what you learn in school. So other than that, I oftentimes will have a challenging discussion with my doctor because the doctors don't believe in it. So a good friend of ours who is a radiation oncologist, was hosting a conference at Kaiser for functional medicine. Turns out the chair of Kaiser does not believe in it. And the only way I got audience to speak, even to challenge that position, was she introduced me to the chair as a venture capitalist, at which point she gave me 5 minutes. So even when the empirical data shows that they are functionally result that happens, does not mean that after paying a few $100,000 and getting their MD behind their names, that they are open-minded enough to listen. So from a business standpoint, some people will hear, some people won't. And for the people that don't, I move on. Did you have another question, May?
Yes, thank you for your attention. The thing is, I will add, I was thinking I will add a Tigrin. Now, what feedback from my husband was because he started taking at night. He says when it's taken at night, he has very loose stools. It could go like 2-3 times at night. I don't know if it's direct effect, if you have anyone experienced that.
No, not
No?
at all. No. I would say that that the loose stool probably have to do with the the Biometa Probio series, or the lack thereof, than the Cordymax and Tigrin and or
Okay.
Reishi. So those doesn't drive that. So
Thank you very much.
any other, otherwise we could end the session, I suppose, because it is past 5 my time.
Thank
you so
you.
very much.
Yeah. Diane, did did Walter answer your question?
He did. And I had a conversation with her. So it's up to me to be proactive in my health and not to be afraid of speaking to her. She knows what she knows. I know what I know. And I know what I want to try for my health.
Right. I literally fought my own doctor for that. I said, it's my body. I'll make the decisions. And
So,
the prescriptions you gave me are making me feel worse. So never mind.
That's it.
So
Thank you.
that's
Okay,
I'm
everybody.
sorry.
If you watch the podcast, Ryan did mention something about India towards the end.
oh yes, the Indian market.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. Okay. Thank you for the tip. That's important. Yeah, no, once again, to me is there are to me literally is the scanner is the easiest and the most direct way of measuring something that there's no other device. So you can't make changes or improvements if you can't measure it. So and
Yeah.
we've got a patented device that does that. So hard science. I love it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You look like
Okay.
it looks like you're excited. You can't stand still, Walter.
Well, look, I mean, this, you know, that Saturday session blew my mind. It was just kind of like, wait a second, 6? Holy smokes. I mean, I've been trying to say to the company, you know, let's do data mining
Well, not only
to
that, Joe was
improve.
talking about, customizing products because of the
No,
scan.
I didn't want to quite go to that next
Yeah.
step because that's logically what one should do.
Well, but
And
I don't
Joe's
know
crazy enough to drive it.
yeah, how personalized it can be though.
Right.
Yeah.
No, you cannot
Maybe
without collecting.
you can decide on which product to use better with this new scanner. I don't think you can
Probably.
yeah, you can
Yeah,
you can
yeah.
I mean you can formulate your own life pack, for example. That may be too much.
Well, I mean, let's put it this way, right? I am formulating my own youth today, right? Because I know you guys take multiples. I take multiples. The standing quantities 2 and 2, I do 3 and 3. I know people do 4 and 4, right? So it depends on your own biology. And oh, I should probably make this general statement, which is our products by your body is considered food. So as food, does that mean you drink more soup, less
Yeah.
soup, more chicken, less chicken, more milkshake, less milkshake? It's your body that you are adjusting to.
Well, they also
So
they also mentioned that now the trend is to eat your medicine, i.e., food as medicine.
yeah. No, that's exactly what we're doing. We have the best. So I've done over 10 years of the best nutrition I can possibly give my body. And it's showing up to the point where my peers look a lot older than I do.
Mm. Mm.
Right? So being a product of the product consistently over long periods of time is showing up.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yep.
that's
No
why
question about that.
that's why I'm doing this, Pat.
I thought you were cold.
No, not at all. I'm not cold at all. In fact, I'm pretty warm. So yeah, I mean, so yeah, this is fun stuff. Very exciting. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I guess we can probably stop the recording and
Well, thank you very much, Walter.
you're
Yeah,
welcome.
stop
Thank
the
you so
recording,
much.
Pat.
Yeah,
Thank
so,
you, Walter.
Thank you for all you guys. Thank you for
Thank
your
you,
support.
Mercedes.